On today's episode of Big Boys, we're serving up the story of Johnny Buffalo, the inventor of the Buffalo Wing, an amazing biopic in the works that'll leave you hungry for more. We also discuss wild conspiracy theories that'll make your mind sizzle. All that and more on this episode of Big Boys.
Prepare to be mesmerized and or mortified.
Well, what's happening there?
Old Sorrel's here had himself a nap.
You son of a...
Yeah, clever. Kind of soft and only like in one ear.
I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Look at those boys, ain't they?
Big Boys with Brian Hickey and John McGray. Oh, hey, yo. Here we are, man. My new digs. This is our first episode of season 2. I'm coming to you live from the old Santa Monica. I'm wearing a t-shirt that was given to me from a guy that I did some construction for. And he claimed that all the t-shirts were white t-shirts. Except I just pulled out this last one out of the bunch, and it's apparently for somebody running for office. And I don't...
Jeff Coors. Let's look him up.
Yeah, Jeff, I don't know how old this shirt is. I don't know what you managed to do in office, but I will say one thing, sir. You somehow managed to invest in one of the only white shirts that actually fits me properly.
Seems here he is and or was the mayor pro term of Palm Springs.
Oh, well, Jeff, is it? Or George? I can't read it upside down. Jeff, whatever respect I had for you, I lost when, I don't know, maybe I haven't been to Palm Springs. It just seems like a neighborhood that I get scoffed at for immediately entering. But, maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe he's a good guy. Anyways, I digress. But here we are, dude. I'm, scrambling, as you from the past hour of us trying to get stuff set up. But I got this going on. And then I gotta, after an hour of this, I gotta get cleaned up, look like an actual human being, and go to that film festival that we were talking about earlier.
Nice.
Do some mingling, Have they're having a happy hour, which I guess I'll get a large glass of Coca-Cola for, and, start trying to sell my wares, which is just me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he was city council in Palm Springs from 15 to 22.
Oh, so he's just now out of office.
Yeah.
I see.
This article's from December of 22, and it's saying Palm Springs City Council member Jeff Coors bids farewell. So yeah, relatively recently. So
do you think it would be fair to say that he had a long December? He had no more reason to believe that this current year was better.
I don't know. It may have
last.
felt like a short December, how they say it's like feels like it's over too fast.
You think he was just like at a park bench counting crows? He was just like, what? This December is too long. I gotta move on with my career. Yeah.
Probably.
I think so. I think that's how every career in politics works. So they make a counting crows reference.
And if not, they should.
They should, man. So, by the way, in an earlier episode last season, because we got to remember, we're in new season territory now, man. We're in our first episode of season dose. We'll spit out 9 more of these puppies, and then, take a little breaky break, and then we'll be working on season 3 after that. But I digress. In an episode of our last season, I was talking about using ChatGPT to help me write scripts and stuff.
GPT is amazing.
It is.
I used it to redo my resume recently, and I've actually gotten some decent results.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, in the episode, we were pontificating, if you will, what the cost of using ChatGPT is. and we're like, oh man, it's probably too expensive it's totally free.
Oh no, yeah. All you have to do is make an account on the website.
All right, genius. Well, you didn't know this information when we talked about it last either.
No, I
so-
didn't. I know there were some apps that you got to pay for, and that's all I know as a guy at
which I
work.
never-
Like some of the phones on his apps you got to pay for. But
Yeah, but then also you could, which I totally used yesterday for this next bit we're going to do. You could just totally use it on your web browser, and it works just fine.
yeah,
So if you will, kind sir, there should be an email in there from me. It says,
yeah, I saw that.
how did I label it per se?
I don't know, but it'll be the one from you.
Yeah. Well, could you read the?
Well, I got to log into my email.
Oh yeah. Well, let's all wait for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Pretend that we
Yeah.
didn't have this discussion 15 minutes ago.
I don't remember it.
No, I'm not surprised to hear that. I'm just saying I know,
Oh.
and I know that if you could remember things, you would know that I already told you to have this ready to go. But
I remember
right.
you mentioning the email.
yeah,
All right, here, let's see. There it is. Wings Galore Chat GPT movie trailer. See, that wasn't a bad wait at all, and it paid off. It adds suspense. You should know that as a filmmaker.
it does. And you want to hear the bigger irony?
Hmm.
Is I'm trying to find the email I sent you in my sent folder so I can read along with you. And I don't know where it is. There it is.
Oh, all that big talk.
Yeah. You know me, man. I'm all talk, very little game.
Mhm.
You know? Sometimes I too have a long December. But yeah. So anyways, I had my thinking cap on when I was on the chat GBT and just like, you know what? The scripts that it pushes out are, that I was just trying to, to fart out for me are subpar. They're not terrible for a first draft script.
They'll get you to a starting point.
Yeah. But I was like, oh wait, how about something like a movie trailer, like something very short form, it would be good. And then also it's like, hey, I got this thing about the world at my fingertips here of, artificial intelligence. Let me figure out what else, what can we do to have like the best potential podcast out there, right? And so I just typed in input, what are great talking points for every comedy podcast. And fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, like we did like most of this. We're already doing all those subconsciously. We're doing most of those subjects. We don't really have the followers to prove it, but I digress. But there was one other subject that we didn't do that we'll do after this, which is we don't really talk about conspiracy theories or wacky conspiracy theories, John. So I thought for two talking points today, we're gonna. I think maybe in this season we'll try to we'll have ChatGPT write us a first draft sketch, if you will, for the sketch ideas we have. And then, we'll see what kind of wacky new conspiracy theories that are going on in the world, and we'll give that a little chit chat for a time being. All right, and then whatever subject you want to talk about, we'll talk about that as well. And I feel like I got a whole bunch of other stuff going on in life, but as with every episode, as soon as I hit record, the memory just goes derp, and I can't remember what I wanted to talk about. So. I digress. You have your email opened up
I
with
do.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as we mentioned in the episode before, I'm a selfish man. If we were to make this film, would prefer to play Johnny Buffalo. So I think I'll be reading the role of Johnny Buffalo. Who do you want to be the narrator, or should I be the narrator?
I can be the narrator. We'll let you be a Jonathan Buffalo here.
Okay.
It's his legal name.
Yeah. All right. So I'll read the description. I'll tell you what. I'll read the descriptions. You be the narrator. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is Wings Galore, ChatGPT movie trailer. Okay. Upbeat music playing. Opening shots of Buffalo, New York, with aerial views of the city.
In a city known for its snowstorms and blue-collar charm.
Quick shots of people bundling up, shoveling snow, and laughing.
One man will embark on a culinary journey that will change his life forever.
Cut to Johnny Buffalo, mid-30s, energetic, with a passion for cooking. Played by a charismatic actor, ChatGPT, frantically running around in his chicken shack. Frustrated, wiping sweat off his forehead. Come on, we need those wings out pronto. We can't let the customers wait. Cut to a bustling chicken shack filled with hungry customers and sizzling wings.
Meet Johnny Buffalo, a man with a dream.
Whispering to himself, I need to come up with something big, something no one's ever seen before. Johnny's gaze falls upon a basket of chicken wings. Light bulb moment. What if I split the wing in two? Johnny quickly grabs a knife and demonstrates his invention.
But little does he know.
Dark, intense music begins. Cut to a dimly lit room where Johnny is confronted by loan sharks, played by tough-looking actors. You be Loan Shark 1.
Okay. Johnny, you owe us big money, and we're running out of patience.
I'm doing my best, fellas. Just give me a little more time. You could be Loan Shark 2 also.
Okay. You don't got much time, Johnny. You mess with us, you mess with the family, see?
A close-up shot of an aging Italian man, Don Rickles, the head of the mafia family. I'll be Don Rickles. Marky.
Right.
Johnny Buffalo, you're in deep trouble now. Montage of action-packed scenes.
From the creators of Chicken Run and The Godfather comes a story that will leave you hungry for more.
Quick shots of Johnny passionately making wings, customers devouring them, and hilarious mishaps in the kitchen.
Wings Galore, the Johnny Buffalo story, will take you on a saucy adventure that's finger-licking good.
Fast-paced, upbeat music returns. Montage of Johnny Buffalo's struggles and triumphs.
Can Johnny save his family's chicken shack and outsmart the loan sharks?
Johnny is seen cooking wings and presenting them to a group of impressed food critics. Food critic 1, chewing wide-eyed. This is revolutionary. You be food critic 2.
Buffalo wings split in two? It's genius!
Montage of Johnny's chicken shack becoming a huge success with lines of people waiting outside.
Join Johnny Buffalo on a journey of flavors, laughter, and a little bit of heat.
Closing shots of the movie title, Wings Galore, the Johnny Buffalo story, displayed with fiery wings in the background.
Coming soon to theaters near you. Get ready for a wing-ding of a time.
Fade out. Upbeat music fades out. Yeah, so that's, I mean, for a first draft, not bad. Like, to be honest, like the first time I read this around, I literally it got me with the from the what was it, the producers of Chicken Run and The Godfather.
Yeah.
That one got me. That one made me laugh out loud the first
What's
time.
funny is I could see you doing this, like not even making a whole movie, but just making like joke trailers to go on like YouTube.
Yeah.
And then what I visualize here is right there where it says upbeat music fades out is something like as the it's like coming summer 2023, and then you hear the music fading out, and it's like on the wings of an angel, like, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that, you know.
Well, I was thinking because, you know, with technical issues that we experienced today, who knows how long that's going to keep going on. But, you know, we're going to have our quote unquote commercial breaks. So I thought maybe what we'll do, because we're going to, you know, be stocking up a few of these episodes, like I'll try to, you know, take what we just recorded here and put together like a radio trailer essentially for a commercial in between our commercial break. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I definitely think something of it.
Yeah. And I was trying to find I guess I had too many files open up, but like, I was trying to find I was going to read to you oh yeah, okay, here it is. So I'm going to read to you the input I gave ChatGPT. So,
okay.
Yeah, here's what I wrote. Because, you know, I'm not even knocking because like the more information you feed it, the better it gets. So
Wait,
Here's
you're
what I-
telling me it's a computer that learns?
Yeah. What? So here's what I've input into old ChatGPT. Write me a comedy sketch movie trailer, please. I say please because once it becomes our AI overlord.
Yeah,
I wanted
good side.
I
Yeah.
wanted to remember that I was nice to it.
Yeah.
The trailer is for a fictional biopic about the creator of the Buffalo Wing. The main character is named Johnny Buffalo. The story takes place in Buffalo, New York. Johnny is in debt to loan sharks who are affiliated with the mafia. The head of the mafia family is an aging Italian man named Don Rickles. Now, here's where I wish I put in no relation to the comedian, because I feel like I probably would have put in like another joke there, but I didn't want to lose what we already had. Johnny's family's well-being and Chicken Shack are in jeopardy. It didn't really get into his family being in jeopardy. I wish there was a little bit of that, because we talked about that in the last episode. But his new discovery of splitting a chicken wing in two may be the answer to all of his problems. It did that pretty good, although I would say, once again, first draft, so I'm not giving it too much shit, but like if it had said that splitting a chicken wing in two versus splitting a buffalo wing in two, like that's basically splitting a chicken wing in four. You're splitting a buffalo wing in two.
Yeah.
But I digress. I thought it tackled that pretty good. And the movie is called Wings Galore, the Johnny Buffalo story. Now, that was pretty impressive, is that like it almost to a T came up with like the title card that we did with like stuff in the back, like flames in the background and stuff that we were talking about before. It just came up with that on its own.
I could already see me when we're just reading this out being like, oh man, I want to redo that line. Let me do another take on that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So yeah, mate, we'll of course I'm having brain farts. Like I don't even really remember all the different sketches we had. I guess we have the two homosexual proctologists finding each other and like Sleepless in Seattle. I guess maybe we could do that for a movie trailer next.
Oh, that's already funny.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought would be funny here when I was reading it is like his name is Johnny Buffalo. He's also in Buffalo, New York. But I want a certain point in there where everybody's like honing in on what it really is. In reality, like they're named after. They're called Buffalo because they were invented in Buffalo, New York. So people are like, "Oh, is this because they were invented in Buffalo, New York?" No.
It's because of me. I'm Johnny Buffalo.
Why does everybody?
What is the confusion?
These are wings. They're named after me, not the city.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's what everybody was like. Oh, because your shop's in Buffalo, New York, right? And it's like, no, my name's Buffalo. The name's Buffalo.
It's almost as if
Johnny
like,
Buffalo.
Yeah. As if there was like a football team owner whose last name was like if John Denver owned the Denver Broncos, and they're like, oh, it must be called the Denver Broncos because it's in Denver. No, it's because it's me. I'm the owner, John Denver.
John Denver. Is that what's so hard to understand about that?
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I also had an idea just reading that too. It's like when he was like, what if we split the wing in two, having a moment where and then it was like, and then like in that moment, dollar signs appeared in Johnny's eyes, and he can have a moment, like have a thing of him like being taken by greed. It's like, hey, if they want the wings, they can pay for the wings.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish it got into more of like him just like his family leaving him or whatever, either out of like fear of danger or. And I kind of also like your idea of like he just gets too big of a head, like, fuck it, I don't need you. I got Buffalo. What, the city? No, my name of the wings I created.
Yeah.
That's just
the wings and I. He kind of goes all Iron Man on it, like where he's like, the wings and I are one. They're mine. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. It's going to be good for a recurring bit, I think.
That would be great. Where the loan sharks at the end, like once the wings take off, he was like, "Listen here, you work for me now." Yeah.
And like the goons take out Don Rickles. That's
and that all just becomes now part of his Buffalo Wing
empire. Yeah.
We were not able to write, record, or edit any commercial parodies, unfortunately. Life is hard, and time is fleeting. And now, back to the show.
Okay, so I digress. Now that we're back
Johnny
from
Buffalo here.
Yeah, I was going to say, now that we're back from our commercial break, winky face.
Too bad we don't have a prepared trailer. That'd be a perfect time for like the Johnny Buffalo trailer.
Well, that's essentially, I mean, you heard it here first. Like that's, I think I'm going to try to have it edited for, the release of our first episode. So we'll see. We shall see. Any other stuff you wanted? I know we were really just getting going and then it cut us off, but anything else you wanted to add to that?
Oh man, the steam's kind of been taken out a little bit now.
All right, well let's go to our conspiracy segment here. And then if you have other stuff you want to add to old Johnny Buffalo later, we could just, throw it in there. So, as I said, I asked ChatGPT to tell me what are the components that make a great comedic podcast. As I previously stated, we pretty much do all that stuff, talk about, topics of like, modern day stuff, movies, all that stuff. Basically just two friends bullshitting is what it gave me for the most part, except it didn't, we don't really tackle conspiracy theories that much here, So I asked old ChatGPT to please inform me. Once again, I had to say please, so it remembers. I was nice to it.
We don't want to be eradicated.
Yeah. So please inform me.
Skynet comes to power.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think it is. It's ChatGPT. It's just, they rebranded the shit. Please inform me of a hilarious, bizarre conspiracy theory. And here's what old ChatGPT sped out for me. And I haven't read this yet. So we'll hear about this together for the first time.
Oh, okay.
Old Chatty Chat says this. Certainly, here's a hilarious and bizarre conspiracy theory for you. The secret society of time-traveling cats. According to this outlandish theory, there exists a clandestine group of highly intelligent cats that possess the ability to time travel. These feline time travelers are believed to be manipulating human history for their own mysterious agenda. And I also like the idea that ChatGPT talks, once it's going to start talking, it's going to be in like this cheesy, like over cheesy movie trailer voice. The theory suggests that these cats have been guiding major historical events from behind the scenes, subtly influencing world leaders, inventors, and artists throughout time. From the construction of the Great Pyramids of Egypt to the signing of important historical documents, these time-traveling cats have allegedly been pulling the strings all along. Supporters of this conspiracy theory argue that the proof lies in various artworks and ancient texts. They claim that cat-like symbols, such as hieroglyphs depicting cats with unusual features or futuristic technology, are evidence of their presence throughout history. Moreover, proponents of this theory assert that certain cat behaviors, like their fascination with sitting on keyboards or knocking objects off shelves, are actually attempts to disrupt our use of technology and prevent us from uncovering the truth about their time-traveling capabilities. Or maybe they just want scratchings.
What you remind me of right now is like then ChatGPT is like starring Rob Schneider, rated PG-13.
Yeah, I was also going to say that earlier. Your narrator voice kind of hinged on like a Jesse Ventura-esque kind of when you were narrating for Wing School.
Well, it said deep and all that, and I was trying to do just a hint of like the Rod Serling from Twilight Zone, but not exactly that.
I think Jesse Ventura is like Rod Serling if he got like hit in the head with a hammer. Like, imagine, if you will.
Yeah. What I imagined at first when he first started doing that voice was the yes guy from Simpsons. That's like, yes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, now that you said it like that, yeah.
Where Homer asked him, why do you talk that way? And he goes, I had a stroke.
Oh, God. That's not going to with us. Hope that's not going to be what's going on with me. Yeah. Anyways, last paragraph here. Well, this conspiracy theory is purely fictional and serves as a lighthearted amusement. Well, yeah, I guess all conspiracy theories are purely fictional. I thought it was just giving me a bullshit fucking conspiracy theory. It's like, no, I want a real one, but I guess that could be taken either way.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all fictional, quote unquote.
Yeah. It certainly adds a dash of absurdity to the world of conspiracies. It gives cat lovers a whimsical reason to smile. Remember, it's all in good fun until they take us over.
I'm not aware of cats smiling all that often, to be honest. They all just kind of have the same, like, mildly annoyed look on their face.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's been my experience. Is that don't necessarily have the vibes, as the kids say. They don't give the
Yeah.
vibe of wanting to be overlords of. Now they do treat human beings like peasants, so I guess in that.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's not like they're trying to prevent us from being at the top of the food chain, I guess.
but then again, they could also because I mean, we take care of them, so that could be part of their trick. Is it's like reverse psychology.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a good argument to point.
Yeah.
I guess that must be the amusement part for cat lovers.
And it's like that's part of the trick all along. They'll think they're in control, but meanwhile, we're really the ones in the litter box pulling the string.
Who are you doing there?
Vaguely, that's just inspired by again Simpsons impersonation of what's his name from Death Wish?
Yes, yeah, I was going to say
Charles Bronson.
Yeah. Which there's another movie trailer for us. We got to work on.
Yeah.
Woke Charles Bronson.
Woke Charles Bronson. Yeah. And that's the Death Wish. Yeah.
Yeah. Death Wish.
He's just holding up a pistol.
Hope.
He's like, "There's a bunch of you guys in here about to pay for using gendered language." Like,
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I don't know, this conspiracy theory. I'll ask ChatGPT in the future to give me a more wild one rather than a cutesy one, because this didn't really, I don't think personally, unless you got more to add to it, didn't really devolve into too much more conversation about it.
No, I mean, if you were really willing to touch on some conspiracy theories, I mean, try to avoid getting too political here, but I know a popular one that I was reading about was the sinking of the Titanic. There's a couple involving that.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Both say that it was sunk on purpose. One conspiracy theory, I have to read into these a little more, but one is that it has something to do with money and insurance because JP Morgan owned the cruise line. And JP Morgan was supposed to be on the ship, but then at the last minute said he was too sick to go, despite other people saying they saw him, I think, at dinner in Paris, and he seemed fine. Yeah. So I think one thing is there was something to do with insurance money. Another one is also involves Rockefeller and other rich people, because around that time there was talks about trying to start the Federal Reserve, and there were a number of very wealthy people on board, such as John Jacob Astor, who opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve, and they were wealthy and powerful enough to actually maybe stand in the way. Well, then you had other elites like Rockefeller and JP Morgan who wanted the Federal Reserve, because as we all know, the Federal Reserve is a private bank. It's not government.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of conspiracy theories.
Well, and so they were like, oh, if we
do
this, basically now we have a license to print money. It's like we're loaning the federal government money. So basically we're like, they basically saw us an opportunity to like just keep getting richer. And which makes sense. Yeah.
What a dark dystopia that took off.
Yeah, I know. And that's the crazy thing about a lot of these is they make just enough sense.
Oh, yeah. Well, branch off even further, and because those three names are like so synonymous with like so many conspiracy theories. Like honestly, I can't even like put a face to who's who. Like, is it John Astor?
I just know him, and I want to say one of the other guys. It might have been the guy that started J.C. Penney, which was probably J.C. Penney.
I think it was. Yeah. Anyways, those guys are all they're all also I see as like old 1930s white guys, which Is that even the right era? The 30s when the Federal Reserve was coming around? Because it was after the Great Depression, right?
I want to say it was before.
Was
Because
it?
the Titanic sank in 1912.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, and see, and there's another one here. See, I brought it up here to make sure I'm saying it right, that it was switched with the Olympic. That it was actually, and what's crazy is if you actually look at certain markings and the number of, I guess, port windows that they had, that one kind of makes sense because they were saying if you count like the footage we have of the wreckage at the bottom and count the number of port windows, that it by its description matches the Olympic.
Yeah, but
It says here, was actually the Titanic ship Olympic disguised as the Titanic as an insurance scam. That's what I was talking about by its owners. The International Mercantile Marine Group, controlled by American financier J.P. Morgan, that acquired the White Star Lines in 1902.
Yeah, I think what happened there was just like, was it J.P. Morgan who was supposed to be on there? Like, yeah, it's like, well, if I'm gonna, just kill a whole bunch of people, I'm gonna do it with a sense of irony. Which one's the one that's which ship's considered unsinkable?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's switch it out to that one. Oh man, Rockefeller and what's the other guys? This is gonna be a hoot for them.
See, the problem with that one too, and here's a guy coming out against that theory, and it makes sense what he was saying. He says that switching the ships would be very difficult to do. In such short notice. He said, since the sister ships had significant interior architectural and design differences, switching them secretly in a week would be nearly impossible from a practical standpoint. He said a switch would not be economically worthwhile since the ship's owners could have simply damaged the ship while docked, for instance, by setting a fire and collected the insurance money from the accident, which would have been far less severe and infinitely less stupid than instead of sailing it out there with like hundreds of people on board. And
yeah, well, I mean, just so I should probably just put it with that caveat too, like, because I love hearing a good conspiracy theory, but do I believe in any of them? No. But like, especially when it comes to like anything that takes a fair amount of coordination and secrecy. Like, I lived in a world where like it's proved to be very uncoordinated and very difficult to keep secrets. You know what I mean? So yeah, I kind of have to agree with that guy there that it's very impractical and unlikely. I think a lot of people too is just like, with Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan, there's just so much historical stories of them just being not the sweetest guys in the world.
Dude, especially Rockefeller. Rockefeller had a lot of influence over basically the school system, like medical schools, all that stuff. A lot of it was backed by him. And that's one reason now that's led to basically where we are with the medical problems in this country is because
well, I think he was it again, I get him mixed up so much, but it was either Rockefeller or JP Morgan who was kind of responsible for the coordinating of the public schools and that
Rockefeller did a lot of that.
Was it? Yeah.
It's basically that's one reason like how we all talk about why don't they teach us this or why don't they teach us that? You basically go and it was teaching people to be good employees instead of free thinkers. And
exactly.
Part of he had a hand in that.
Which I think, I think that's not even necessarily a conspiracy. Like
a large reason why.
Yeah. I can get more in behind that kind of stuff where it's just like they are cold-hearted guys that are doing things for a dollar at the end of the day versus being pure satanic evil, like the guy that you said disputed the switching out of the Titanic.
Yeah,
that just seems impractical, and like I don't think that either of those guys would really bat an eye if it made them a dollar, but I don't think they're going to go out of their way to like kill tons and tons of people if like obviously they can, as you said, just light it on fire and collect insurance from an empty vessel.
Yeah. I've also read some stuff too, and again, these are conspiracy theories. I mean, there is some truth behind them, but at the same time, who knows exactly, really? But
I think it's just for me.
I've read some stuff too about like he had a lot of influence over like Rockefeller back to like medical schools, and again it was a lot of it was business oriented, that like the whole pill for every ill kind of concept, instead of like, oh, we're not going to teach natural remedies and other things that they've been doing for years. We're only going to teach quote unquote Western medicine, medication, and it's all about making it a business.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Rockefeller had a hand in that. And viewers, if any of you know about these conspiracy theories or have anything to add, or if you have anything about why these may be wrong, I would love to hear that. Weigh in, please.
But listeners, just go fuck yourself. John only wants to hear from the viewers.
Yeah,
Let's get that conspiracy started.
Yeah, exactly.
Strictly listeners are second-class citizens of this podcast. We'll, actually, if we ever do make a book in the future, it is going to most likely be from our strictly listeners. So I would also invite and recant my previous statement of viewers and listeners. If you could, I know we have a rolling clip at the end of every episode here, but please add us on Spotify specifically, so we can get back on collecting our 2 cents per episode. Because right now we have 68 followers, I think, as of this recording. And I think we need about 100 or so. Well, we need 100 listeners on Spotify once a month or whatever. But which should be no problem once we get these all, we start shooting these out every week. But I digress. More listeners, more subscribers. If we can get that, we appreciate it. We love you. We won't burn you down in the Titanic.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Mm-mm.
It's not that I even have a ship to do that on.
Exactly. It's just far more easier for us to just steal your pink slip, set your car on fire, and then collect that insurance money when you're not in the car. We're practical men here, John, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll always go for, what do they say? Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. And I think that's what old Rockefeller and or J.P. Morgan, whichever guy came up with public school system, thought. And did I just lose you? I don't see your
no, maybe.
I don't see your video anymore.
What happened?
I don't know, dude. That's the other thing about.
Okay, there we go. I guess it dropped out. That was weird.
Okay, well, you're back. So.
But you could hear me while that was happening, right?
Yeah. So you just
that's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, is it just me, or does it just feel like we have because again, that's what I hate about this particular program that we're recording on this time. We'll have to figure out the technical issues later, but does it not feel like we're on a ticking timer? Like, I don't know when this thing's going to cut out again.
Not really. Last time, and I meant to say something, and then we got going on the Johnny Buffalo thing. I had a warning up there in the top left that said we only have 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Well, so you have a timer then. Just keep me posted.
Yeah.
When it's down to a minute.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, those are our 2 new segments: conspiracy theory and first drafts of our sketches. Also, fuck's new with you, guy? What you been up to?
Oh, nothing much. I use ChatGPT to redo my resume. Been sending that out. I got a couple irons in the fire, but nothing much yet.
How did it do with your resume?
Pretty good. The problem is that I'm having with it, and some of this is, I'm sure, also just learning how to better tell it what to do. I would try to get it to be like, hey, take, at least on my computer. Part of the problem I had was uploading pictures or PDFs for it to read. I couldn't get it to let me do that.
What do you want pictures on your resume?
Well, no, but basically I wanted to give it my job descriptions so it could read them and craft that into a resume.
Okay, I'm still confused as to why would you want to send ChatGPT a picture for constructing your resume? What would that?
Well, it wouldn't. It would be a picture or a PDF of the job descriptions that I work on.
I see.
That I've had. So
okay.
that we could, and then
a picture of a previous resume. What you're
Well, a
saying.
picture, basically a picture of like for example, my current job description, my previous job description.
Right, but it's this is a picture with text on it versus like when you said that at first, I was thinking of like a stock image
No,
of a
no,
guy,
no. Yeah,
like a
picture
guy
with
wearing an
text.
apron and his arms crossed. Like this is
Basically,
the job. I
basically
have.
like
Assess this and make
like
a resume out of it.
a PDF or an image of the job description. You know, where it's like, here's your list of duties, and here's blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
it's not quite there yet because that's honestly my first instinct is to have it finish my unfinished screenplays.
Mhm.
But like, and I politely asked it if it could do that, but apparently whatever version of this is, I'm sure the people that made the damn thing could probably input whatever they want, but it only collects information from like that's public domain from as far as back as just to 2021, like as far as new content goes.
Yeah.
But you can't input like PDFs or media and stuff. It won't be able
See,
to assess
the
that.
guy at work did something like that on its phone. He uploaded something and had it, and it read it, and then he went from
Really,
there. So
he
maybe
might have he might have a different AI then because
it's Chat GPT, but I want to say it's built into whatever app he's got, and it was something he had to pay for.
well, so because before I didn't even really properly investigate it. Like last month, I actually paid like $20 to use it because I was like, oh man, I bet everybody's using this thing, and I'll never because like it was like be like, here, you can pay $20 to basically be at the top of like because if there's too many users, it will
Yeah.
it only let so many users at a time. But as of right now, in my experience, like I've never had an issue with getting on it.
See, and it's something I'm trying to figure out where it is and how to use. Is I guess there's one now where Bing has Chat GPT in, so that way, like you said, its knowledge is only up to 2021. But I guess if you use that, it can search Bing for information.
But your friend was actually able to insert a document into it and assess it.
Yeah, he uploaded. I think he I don't know if he took a picture or something because he did something at work where it was like he took a picture of something and they were like, "Hey, make a story based on William Shakespeare of this like work thing." It was like a safety plan or whatever. But he was able to upload it and it read it and then asked what he wanted to do with that information.
It's wild. Okay, so I don't know. I'll have to.
So what I ended up having to do was copy the text from each of those and tell it, and that kind of made it take longer. And it was a little harder to get it all compiled. What I ended up doing was I would just do one job description at a time. I'd say, "Hey, can you make a resume for me based on a job description?" So yeah, I'd copy all the information.
Did you remember to
enter it
say
in-
please?
Yes. I was very
Okay.
polite.
Okay. Good.
Do that, and then it would spit it out. And now where I ran into some problems once I kind of figured out how to get the information in there was it seemed to me it couldn't quite comprehend exaggeration. I would say, like, especially for somebody like me who may be trying to change career fields or is open to different kinds of careers. I don't necessarily have a one straight path that I'm following right now.
Yeah.
So you might see something and be like, "Hey, can you kind of take this resume but make it sound more for somebody who's trying to get into this career field?" Well, sometimes it would just make up jobs, and I'd be like, "Cool, that's all great in theory, but we can't lie." Like I get that you're giving me an example, but use this information. And so it seemed to be having trouble. I might try it again because I've thought now of different ways I can reword it about asking it to look for like, "Hey, what are the transferable skills? Highlight those."
I love the idea that Chat GPT is just like telling you, like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
You're not getting this type of job unless you have some bullshit on here. Because what you have, like,
that I guess that's a good sign too.
Yeah.
And so, but basically, he was able to do that, make it a bit more concise. And I would be able to tell it things like, "Hey, make a resume for this," and I'd be like, "Well." Like for some of the stuff at MediaTek, I put like, "Well, highlight the teaching aspect of that job a little bit more, in the point." So it would reword it and do that, highlight that aspect a little bit more. I was like, "Oh, that's neat." And excuse me, could go back and revise what it said a little bit, but that made it so much easier that it already did like 3/4 of the work for me. And then all I'm doing at that point is kind of just revising or rewording or maybe adding a little something. And
I mean, my mind's still blown over here that your friend was able to input a document and it was able to assess it. My homework for you is get your friend to tell me or tell you, and then tell me what exactly what sort AI source he was actually using, because I swear to God, I tried 1,000 times and it was like, no, I cannot write your screenplay for. I can't read this and fart out the rest.
Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how he. Here's something too about them trying to add image input and output.
Because if it could actually assess, like if you could input a PDF and it could assess it, that's a motherfucking game changer.
Yeah. Now here's what it says is like can Chat GPT read a PDF? This says convert a PDF into a text document. Chat GPT will happily read text. But I couldn't figure out how to upload that.
Oh, so basically you're just copying and pasting.
But the difference is, I think if you have a document, like let's say you've got a script or whatever, you could, have it in a text document, basically like a doc file instead of a PDF, and then you can then read it.
I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than it sounds, because you got to find a way for it to change it into the text document, but the way that screenplays are formatted.
Okay.
Like when you try to transfer it over to like a text document, the formatting gets all fucking weird, and I don't know if it'll assess it correctly.
Now here we go. There's plugins you can guess from what I'm seeing here. It says you can load a PDF file into ChatGPT using plugin.
Really? What's the plugin?
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see here. And it says apart from that, you can use a Chrome extension, OpenAI API key, or ChatGPT powered websites to load PDF files seamlessly. And let's see what this has to say.
That's indeed.
Not really telling me much else. Let's go to the top of this and read how to upload a document into ChatGPT. See, we here at Big Boys, we don't just like to make goofy stories about the invention of buffalo wings. We also like to talk about modern issues and technology and how it affects our daily lives.
And then eventually make goofy stories.
Yeah, and then basically use use said tools to act like goofy children.
Yeah. The word you're looking for here, dear listener and viewer, is synergy.
Yeah, exactly. We like to add buzzwords.
Yeah. It's cyclical, our way of going and making poopy dum content.
Wow, this is interesting. Right here, there's a Chrome extension. It says install ChatGPT file uploader extension from this link right here. Let's follow the link, see where it goes. It is completely free to use and works with any Chromium-based browser. It says now simply open the ChatGPT website and an upload button will appear at the bottom right.
Bruh, send me that link, please.
Yeah.
That will be a game changer, bruh.
Yeah, it says, and here it is. It's just in the Chrome Web Store. And it says ChatGPT file uploader extended. And it says now you can upload image files, PNG, JPEG, WebP.
What is WebP?
Fresh off the press.
Web player. Yeah.
This gem has been polished and perfected to unleash power that enhances your file. Let's read more. Oh, right here. This is awesome. I might redo my resume and download that and do it again. Do you have a stack of PDFs, Word documents, or Excel spreadsheets and want to extract the text content? Well, fret not. This superhero extension is now decked out with a shiny new feature to handle that with ease. What's more, we've also added support for image files. Yes, you heard that right. Now you can effortlessly extract text from images right in your browser. And that's not all. Tucked away in the zip file. Do you have PDFs, images, or our cutting edge extender will swoop right in, unzip the files, read the content in a flash. We're going beyond ordinary boundaries here. Wow, that's awesome, but also kind of scary.
Yeah.
So it's common ones like text, JS, PY, HTML, CSS. Some of these are like coding files. Like PY is a Python file, JavaScript files.
Well, here's the thing I thought, again, was cool, but also slightly disheartening, which I don't know why it was so maybe it's because, I don't want to be outperformed by a machine, but at the same time, and that's the only reason I'm using this is because I'm lazy and I don't want to do the work.
Don't want to. be outperformed by machine. We got a modern day John Henry over here. He's trying to beat the machine.
Yeah. Hold up.
21st century John Henry here.
Yeah. I was gonna say, hold up while I go type that into machine.
Oh, it's telling me we have 8 minutes and
I see it
50
now.
seconds now.
Yeah, but that's fine. We'll go till this one runs out, and then I don't know. This might have to be a short one because I gotta get going to my mixture and stuff here. And
Yeah, we'll.
We'll revisit on this. Anyways, what was
That's very impressive. That dude. As cool as all this is, it's scary, man. Because where's it going to be in like another 5-10 years?
Yeah.
How much longer before society's going to look like the opening scene from T2 with like the Terminator stepping on the human skull?
Well, I mean, like again,
this ChatGPT 5.
The scary but impressive thing for me was that like, oh, it actually constructed even like, like I said, it was a first draft and it was okay, but like what I thought was what really got me was like it actually constructed on its own without my input. I didn't say like, oh, make a Godfather pun or a Chicken Run pun.
Yeah.
It made that on its own. It made that like, oh, this will be a good little joke to put in this trailer.
I wish this would have been around when I was in college, man. That would have made my life a lot easier.
Well, arguably, once this thing really gets going, who fucking needs college anymore?
I mean, with the cost of college, I think we've been building to that for a while.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I don't even regret going myself because I'll always cherish the people I met there and the memories I have from that and I really enjoyed going to my film school and just being a part of that whole thing. But I'll say this much: it was like as far as like learning what like filmmaking tools and just trying to have a career in general, related and not related to like trying to be in the filmmaker or entertainment industry. I learned more shit from YouTube than I have anywhere else.
Dude, that's absolutely true. So many of my classes would be like, we might have had a little bit of a lecture, but it'd be like watching a YouTube video on like what the lesson is, and then it's basically, all right, well, if you need help, schedule time during my office hours. It's like, okay, so
yeah. And again, it's so much easier to look at this in hindsight, but like I feel like such a dum-dum in this sense because now that you mention that, like there was so many like lecture classes like where they're like, okay, well we'll watch this YouTube video for reference or whatever. And never once did I have a light bulb moment of like, why am I sitting in a class where we're just gonna watch a YouTube video and like I'm paying out the wazoo? Like this is available for anyone.
See, and I've thought of that too, especially in like a number of career fields, like for me with some of the like animation and 3D modeling kind of stuff. Like even some of the teachers said he was like actually I remember that was an animation teacher. He's like the happiest people when you get your degree is like are going to be like you and your mom. He was like in the industry. He's like it really doesn't matter. It's like can you do it? And his point was talking about like the importance of a good like demo reel or good like examples of work, but at the same time it kind of makes you wonder, you're like, well, why am I sitting here paying thousands of dollars when most of this stuff is available in tutorials? Sure, it's cool to actually have a face with a guy that I could like schedule a meeting with to help me with something, but at the same time a lot of that stuff was very difficult for me because like I had to work full-time through college,
right? Yeah,
and they've only got very specific hours. Well, I've got very specific hours at work, and it was just hard for me to schedule a lot of that stuff. And I found about several online resources that either weren't around or I wish I would known about back then, ones that'll help you do like even more complex math problems. Like you could put in like just calculus and it'll do it. And I was like, man, I feel like if I would have had that would have helped me a lot because then I could also reverse engineer this stuff. I could see what it was doing.
Well, dude, if we get this PDF input or whatever.
Yeah.
ChatGPT could be doing your fucking taxes, man.
Dude, ChatGPT at this point, you can do coding in it.
What do you mean?
Like I've thought about messing around. We have 4 minutes left. I've thought about messing around with like smaller like hey, write me code in. You can probably come up with a language. I might start messing with Unity again. Try to build like a little game and.
Okay. Yeah.
It could start like at least give you the basics of your code. and then you could probably just kind of refine it from there. I'm not saying you wouldn't have to have any. I don't think we're at a point now where you could do it with zero knowledge.
Yeah.
But you could definitely, like, some of the programming classes I had to take and was like having a really hard time with. It would have been a nice resource to be able to put all my code into this and be like, hey, ChatGPT, why isn't this working? Can you help me fix it?
Dude, for sure, man.
Dude, that would have saved me so much time and struggles,
Well, here's hoping it does that for the writing and stuff. Like I said, do send me that link, man. I want to see what happens. Maybe we'll talk about it on the next epi. We'll
Yeah.
chit chat about that, and then we'll see how this screening goes. I'm excited for it, man. But then also,
I'm gonna
know,
respond to your Johnny Buffalo email here.
okay, yeah, there you go. I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much about it because, again, it's I gotta imagine it's a pretty small festival. Like, I've never heard of it before.
Hey, you never know.
But yeah, you never know what comes of it, and they're having events along with. It's not just like, oh, come here for this screening or whatever. It's like, I like going to like industry type of events. I like that are specifically for I guess mixers is the appropriate term, but I was going to say collab, like people who are looking to collaborate and
Well, that's the power of networking, and I know it's all easier said than done, but you never know who you might meet there, or you might meet somebody who you never know. 6 months from now, they blow up, and like they're like, oh, I met this guy Brian Hickey, and I always said that if I blow up, I'm putting him in my movie. You just never know. Like, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, and more realistically, in that is that I've done this stuff obviously before. Took our pilot to different film festivals and mixed it up with some people there. But like, you're 10 times more likely out here to run into even whatever tier they may be, like connected to whatever agency or studio. Like, but there is still 10 times more likely of meeting somebody who is actively working in this larger proportion of the industry. Whereas versus like, out in Texas, not to say I didn't still have some lucky breaks here and there. I still was able to find like investors for stuff, but of course it eventually fell through. But my point being is like those people
got like a minute 30 left.
Yeah, and I'm wrapping up. My point being is that they weren't necessarily affiliated with a larger portion of the entertainment industry. It was just like, I guess it's just I'm an oil field guy and I got money.
Very different out there because you see stuff all the time like Schwarzenegger rides his bike all over LA and you're like, how does he just not get like mobbed all the time? But I guess people are just used to that kind of thing out there,
Well, I would have to argue that you're not expecting to see him on a bike riding around, and he's also very much a public guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way he's not getting recognized. Like, holy crap, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like,
I don't know. You wouldn't expect to see him on a bike though, so that probably changes things.
Yeah, true.
But anyways, we got less than a minute left. I'm gonna do my Cinderella thing, get put on my ball gown.
All right, just be back before midnight.
Yeah, putting on the ball gown and going balls out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a ball pun, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to season 2.
To ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. ChatGPT, work this ball pun.
Just have to repeat everything it says with the input of balls.
Yeah. It's like Rick and Morty with like ball fondlers. Yeah.
Oh, buddy. All right. Well, I got to assume we're running out of it. We're down to the wire.
Well, how about that for a season 2 opener, dear listener? I mean, aside from all the vast technical issues that went on there with the video and the cutting out, and I digress. And we pulled through. Did we not? We pulled through all the way up to a season 2. Wahoo, I say. I tell ya, it's good to be back. Good to be back and just going full throttle. Yes, sir. That's what we're doing here at the Big Boys Podcast. Full throttle, full speed ahead. Just gunning it, son. Yep. Just all gas, no brakes, and all takes. Okay, I'm done with the rhymes for now. Well, so I think that, as you'll hear in future episodes, but the film festival I spoke of earlier, it went fairly well. Yeah, not too shabby. We went there. We showed the short that we had to show there. Got a I don't even know what exactly what Rue got, but he got an award. I don't know if it was given to him in the form of a certificate, a plaque, or just an email saying that he won Best Documentary. So we won that thing at the film festival, and that was nice. It was nice to be a part of that. I did very little other than talk out of my anus, which I do regularly on here. So practice makes perfect, I suppose. Dear listener, I'm just beat from another long day of woke up this morning. I re-edited the audio of our season 2 episode 2, so people can hear that with their ears. And then I went for a swim at the beach. I mean, I swam in the water at the beach, to be more specific. I didn't just go to the beach and try to make a swim out of the sand. The Sam? Listener, I am tired. For after said swim, I went to a meeting. And then after that meeting, I had to go to work, which I was there longer than usual, which is good. This is good. I'm not complaining. Need those hours. But long story short is I am just pooped. Just pooped to root. It's been a long day, and I just checked my email, and I got I have 2 voiceover auditions I have to do right after this, so I'm gonna keep this this wrap up a wee bit on the short end, mainly because I don't really know that I don't really have much energy to ramble on about too many things, but also I don't know that there's too much to ramble on about this episode. I mean, we went to the Chat GPT, which is it's been helpful. It's been a guiding light this season, in helping us find the resources we need to make that perfect podcast soup for you, the listener and the viewer. And we will be pulling more from that resource in the future. And what a sweet, sweet, soupy saute we shall make together. We and the Chat GPT. Yum, yum, yum. Throw it in your gums. I thought I said I was done rhyming, but I was wrong. I was so wrong. But yes, it's we talked about the Chat GPT. We talked a fair bit about conspiracy theories. We'll also probably be hitting that up in the future, just for some more content-worthy stuff. And by stuff, I mean stupidity. Because, conspiracy theories. What else are you going to call them? Shots fired on conspiracy theorist. You've heard it here first. So yeah, we'll be pulling from those resources in the future. And then old John Boy is gonna have some talking points for us. Obviously, I'll be keeping you guys up to date with what's going down here in old Clown Town, aka Santa Monica. Keep you big boys and big girls posted in all those events. But bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. I'm excited for this season, and I am excited for this new season of my life. This is season 2 of Old Bry Guy. Hickey, that's me. Anyways, to further digress, I'm just all around tickled with the way things are working out right now, and I just gotta. I know I've said this many times before. I just gotta knock out my community service stuff, and it'll almost be like I'm a free man again, and have so many more options available for me to pursue even more of my interest in the future. Even though right now it seems like I am just incredibly overwhelmed with ones that I have pursued already. I do want to get more involved in the comedy game again, but between obviously staying on top of my auditions, working so I can pay my bills, do my community service so I can not go to prison, it's it's been a bit to juggle, so I'm not really giving myself too much flack for not being able to pursue those aspirations at this moment. But the time will come, and I'm excited for the coming as always. And with that, I shall be going and bidding you adieu. Yahoo. And as I always like to say in closing, como se llama hermana? Lo siento palapinto. Good night, all my favorable North Texans. And sweet, sweet, salty dreams, my fellow Angelinos. Auf Wiedersehen, my world. And good night to anyone else I forgot out there in the galaxy. For this has been another episode, another season, started anew at the Big Boys Podcast.
Big Boys is a podcast produced by Not So Funny or Proud Productions. The team consists of co-hosts, co-producers, and co-editors Brian Hickey and John Sorrells, better known as John the Great. For more information about the duo or this show, please visit us at bigboyspodspot.com. Or feel free to take a gander at our production page, notsofunnyorproud.com. Look us up on social media and follow us at Big Boys Podspot. New episodes drop every Thursday on every popular podcast hosting platform known to man. So please be sure to like, subscribe, vibe, describe, contrive, confide, collide, abide, preside, tell your tribe, and most importantly, do prescribe. Me and Elixir for talking out the side of my neck.